and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
And I am Tayo Salah.
All right, we have the last four for the Africa Cup of Nations. Host nation Cameroon, Egypt, Senegal, and of course, Burkina Faso.
Wow, fantastic. 24 teams started this tournament. We've got 4 left that will be competing for the AFCON title. We're going to get opportunities to see Mo Salah, Kyle Toko Ekambi later on in the competition. We'll get an opportunity to see Bertrand Traore as well too, for the Burkina Faso as well.
All right. Okay, Sadio Mane will also get opportunity.
Okay, let's not forget Sadio Mane.
Yeah. All right, also on the program, of course, Tayo, the next one.
Also on the programs, this time around, we're still talking football, but the Nigerian Professional Football League Match Day 9 is going to get us talking. The top 2 clash, or the battle of the top 2 in the NPFL over the weekend, ended in a stalemate between Remo Stars and Rivers United. Cecilia, these 2 teams are still unbeaten.
Of course, they're still unbeaten, and that's why they are the teams to beat this season.
Indeed.
All right, also on the program, it's 21st heaven for Rafael Nadal. He's not even thinking about winning another one. He wants to enjoy this, celebrate it, and see how far he will go this season. So for the first time after 13 years, Rafael Nadal is winning the Australian Open again. So I remember that 5-set through against Roger Federer when Federer was crying.
Wow.
That was the only time he won Australian Open. Right now, he's one of those men that have won at least 1 Grand Slam title twice, which is really cool.
Take a ball wherever you are. Rafael Nadal, 21st heaven. What a match that was against Daniil Medvedev. It was a classic in Melbourne. We thoroughly enjoyed it, even though it was a bit nerve-wracking for Rafael Nadal fans out there. But this man showing once again the heart of a champion, winning his 21st Grand Slam, which is a massive record. And what more can we say about Nadal? We're going to be talking about the greatest of all time later on the show. I know a lot of people would have a few things to say about that, especially fans of Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. But before we come back to Rafael Nadal,
yes,
you all know what it is already. It's all about the AFCON. There you go, Egyptian fans in Giza right there celebrating semi-final berth for the Pharaohs. They're now 2 wins away from extending their record AFCON title to 8th. All right, I'm not alone on the show. Of course, you already seen Cecilia. We also have Oyewuchi Wachuku joining us on this segment. Oye, good morning.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tayo.
Yeah. Morning.
Yeah, I guess
20 gone home, 4 left.
4 left.
Well, the Bible said it that many are called, but few are chosen.
Okay.
So
Or the first shall be the last.
Well, that's the case of Ethiopia. But the men are gradually being separated from the boys.
You know,
these are the traditional teams, the teams that have pedigree.
Yeah.
And no regrets for countries like Equatorial Guinea and Gambia. They really started their stuff, and they should go home with their heads held high.
Definitely. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the results of the games, confirmation of the matches that were played over the weekend. That's the quarterfinals of the Africa Cup of Nations going on in Cameroon. First off, it was the host nation taking on the Gambia, and they ensured There was no upsets in that one. Cameroon raced their game. Best they've played in the competition to win by 2-0. Kyle Toko Ekambi scoring those 2 goals right on the heels of Vincent Abubakar for the top scorer award. And on the same day, Burkina Faso took out Tunisia. And every time Nigerians talk about this Tunisian side, there's always that regret and pain. And Super Eagles are losing against this Carthage Eagles. They're not a good side. They're a very bang average side, but they knocked out Nigeria. But now they've been knocked out as well. So Burkina Faso advancing into the semi-finals. The Stallions are still marching on. And on Sunday, Cecilia, what a couple of games we saw, Cecilia.
Yeah, Sunday was
games.
mind-blowing. I think it's like the AFCON just started. This is how we wanted it to start. But Tom, we'll have to wait till the quarterfinals, the second games of the quarterfinals, before we can enjoy the festival of football. Apart from the Super Eagles that we, of course, we totally enjoyed at the group stage. Now, this is the game that most people actually enjoy. Egypt, Morocco lived up to the hype of a derby. And, of course, Senegal, they finally woke up. They found their fate in this tournament, and then they won 3-1. So we are going to be going to Yaoundé, and we'll be talking to an Egyptian journalist who watched the game live. Ami Fami was actually here when the whole tournament started. So right now, Egypt, they are in the semi-finals. Ami, good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure to be with you as well this morning.
So how are you feeling right now? I mean, Egypt, they are in the semi-finals. Yes, they lost their opening game to Nigeria. Nigeria, they've been home since on Sunday, but Egypt is still here.
Yeah, you know what? Nobody expected us to go this far after the poor display against the Super Eagles. We were, I was just packing to go home after that poor display. I said we will not last longer in this tournament. But it seems that the team went from strength to strength. They were gaining confidence game by game, and I think the game against Cote d'Ivoire in the round of 16 was a turning point, a huge turning point. Even all the critics that were coming from Egypt were turned into positive vibes, where everybody was going just to be behind the team after that game, the game against Cote d'Ivoire. I think Carlos Queiroz finally reached the golden formula, the way that the Pharaohs should really play. He showed his tactical masterclass against Cote d'Ivoire, and then against Morocco, he could contain the danger of players like Boufal, like Achraf Hakimi, and even like Nicolas Pepe or Baxter Langradel or Sebastian Haller in the game against Cote d'Ivoire. So I think it wasn't only a defensive mindset that we played with against both teams, but also we knew how to cause damage with attack, with the thunderbolt counterattacks. Mohamed Salah finally has reached his best version with Egypt.
True.
All right, interesting. True. What does this really mean for the Egyptians? You said that after the loss to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, you already packed your bag thinking you were going to leave Cameroon and go home.
Yeah. Actually, because the Super Eagles outplayed us completely, we didn't create, I don't remember that we created 1 or 2 chances in the first game.
Yeah.
And it was really ironic to see the Super Eagles crash out from the round of 16, which was a big surprise for everybody here in Cameroon, or even across the continent, and then see Egypt getting from strength to strength, as I said. And it was like we exchanged seats, we swapped seats. So I think I'm absolutely happy. Every Egyptian is happy by the display so far, and everybody's behind the coach Carlos Queiroz, because he showed his tactical masterclass. I think, and this is the outcome when you hire a world-class coach. Maybe we were behind our national African coaches, but when it came really to tactical game plans, I think Queiroz proved his value.
Indeed, it's safe to say that, Amir. And you've gone from struggling against Nigeria, Sudan, Guinea-Bissau, to actually taking out big guns like Cote d'Ivoire and, of course, Morocco in that feisty North African derby yesterday. Next up is the host nation, Cameroon. How do you see that one playing out?
Yes, it's a classic of African football. Cameroon against Egypt. We last time we played it was a final in 2017 in Gabon, and Cameroon won by 2-1. So everybody's excited. There's kind of a revenge for Egypt, and there won't be a sweetest revenge than to get it on their home soil. But honestly speaking, everybody's worried because Egypt is getting every game we get like 2 injuries or something like that. And our continent, some people always fear that there are some I don't want to say, but refereeing favors for the host nation. So there's some fear about that. Also, you have to watch out for the COVID cases, the positive COVID cases, because only the Gambia was the first team that skipped it against Cameroon. But there are other teams that always
what they did, right?
Positive COVID cases before the game. Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
They put it out there. The GFA, they put it out there that we've done our test and there is no COVID positive player. So perhaps you should take a leaf from their book. Amir, I want to thank you for joining us. Of course, it's going to be the 2 most successful African sides when it comes to the AFCON, taking on each other for a place in the final. For Egypt, it's almost looking like the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm really pleased, and hopefully it's a good game for African football in general.
Indeed. Thank you very much for your time. Hopefully, perhaps, we'll get you again for the final.
Hopefully.
All right, thank you. I saw an Egyptian journalist, Amir Fati, joining us from Yaoundé, to help us review that game between Egypt and Morocco. Let's get on with the show by taking a listen and getting the post-match thoughts coming from the Egyptian camp. First of all, starting with the coach, Carlos Queiroz.
If it was possible, I think both teams, they deserve to keep going. That's the bottom line, because 2 great teams, fantastic players, fighting for the best result for the people. And I'm very happy that my players, they did well, tactically fantastic, perfect on the pitch. But it was always difficult against a great team like Morocco's fantastic players. And now our mission, it is next game to represent them, to play a great game, to honor our opponents, because today was a brilliant game. Our best player is the team, but we have fantastic spirit. Every single player play for the team, and the team play for every single player.
Just saying, the tournament is tough for everyone. It was tough for us in the beginning until we just adapt. I think Nigeria, after they being the best team in the group stage, they lost. So you never know in any game. So now it's time to focus against Cameroon. And yeah, we go from there. I think the players give everything today. The player give everything each game, and hopefully we just carry on and winning.
We'll see about that on Thursday when Egypt take on Cameroon for a place in the final. All right, okay. 2 sides who seem to have improved game by game, right from the group stage through to the semifinals. How do you see this one playing out?
You make Indomitable Lions and
Egypt.
It's always going to be tough. For Cameroon, remember their first game against the Stallions of Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
How they, managed to grind out a victory, 2-1 victory in the opening game. Always very difficult, the opening games. Then for the Pharaohs of Egypt against Nigeria, I mean, the journalist said it, we completely outplayed them. But it has also shown that this is a tournament, it's a marathon, it's not a dash. I think the best place to lose is in the group stage. It jolts you into reality. It begins to tell you that you have not won the tournament. And I think psychologically, that was what happened to us. But Carlos Queiroz, when Nigeria defeated them, a lot of fans, criticized his tactics. I've, listened to some of his players in the national teams, in the clubs. They say he likes a very defensive game. He likes to build his team from the defense. And that probably could have been the reason why the Pharaohs, struggled in their first 2 games. Maybe he has adapted and trying to depend less on Mohamed Salah. And, when you have such a player, you know how to use him, you manage him so that you get the best I think they deserve their place. The journalists were just being modest. Yeah. They have won the Nations Cup 7 times. Yeah. 7 times. They have participated the most in the Nations Cup. They have hosted the Nations Cup more than every other nation, 5 times. So it's just being modest.
By all accounts.
By all accounts. If Egypt gets to the AFCON, they are usually favorites. Yeah. You know, whether they lose their first match or not.
Interesting.
Right. Okay, Cecilia.
Okay, Austin is going to be joining us from Yaoundé in Cameroon. But before that, let's take a look at his report. I mean, talking about the Senegalese game, how they are favorites for the tournament.
It has been an unpredictable Africa Cup of Nations. For instance, Senegal, a team that struggled at the group stage, have made it to the semi-finals. I spoke with a legend of Senegalese football, Mamadou Diallo, and he told me that this Teranga Lions team can even go all the way.
Of course, I think Senegal go to the final. I tell the people to take game by game because the football is very funny. It's not something very exactly just taking game by game.
And the country came far just to get to the end. So 3-1. It was hard against a nice equatorial team. Senegal fought hard. The team fought hard. Everybody came together. So, and we're taking it game after game. And we'll see. We thank you everybody in Cameroon. And we're looking forward to play Burkina Faso.
It was joy unspeakable for fans of Senegalese football. Some were singing, others dancing, but this particular football fan struggled to express his joy.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Cameroon, Egypt, Burkina Faso, and Senegal are the last 4 teams standing. 2 will drop. 2 will advance to the finals. We've reached the business stage at the Africa Cup of Nations from the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Austin Okonakpan, Channels Television News.
And Austin is joining us live right now from Cameroon in Yaoundé. Austin, how are you doing?
Such a good thing, Cecilia. Good to be on the show. Shout out to Kanye with you also. Yeah, it's okay. Bright Sunday in Yaoundé, right here in Cameroon.
All right, brilliant, fantastic, and that fantastic report talking to some legend and also some players concerning some fans concerning the game between Senegal, and of course, they're looking forward to how they will make it to the finals. For you, how has the Nations Cup been so far? Because we know, yes, upsets happen, but the game between Senegal and Equatorial Guinea, it seems Senegal decided to wake up. They've been sleeping, scoring just 1 game at the group stage before moving into the quarterfinals. And right now, they are still here, breathing and surviving, and they had their best performance against Equatorial Guinea. A very feisty and interesting game.
And Cecilia, that's why I said it's very difficult to predict this Africa Cup of Nations. Teams just, getting to turn up now that we reached the business stage. After doing that, Senegal, a team that struggled to come out of their group. Got just 5 points. They are now in the semi-finals. Same thing to an extent with Egypt, Burkina Faso, we know every year at the Africa Cup of Nations, they push, try to take themselves, remove that tag of underdogs from their name. But they always find a way to, make it to the semis. At this stage, particularly fans in Cameroon, they believe that the indomitable Lions can go all the way to win this one. You listen to Mamadou Diallo also saying Senegal can go all the way. And look, when you get to the semi-finals, you already picked it. You see where the trophy is, just that you can't touch it yet. So teams will do all they can now to find a way to make it to the final. But it is what it is. So we'll drop so we get to the final.
I think that's what they will need to do. Oyewuchi is right here. Oyewuchi, for Senegal and Equatorial Guinea, we expected so much, right? And of course, we got what we wanted. 3 goals. Senegalese haven't scored 3 goals all through the tournament until they got to that stage. Yeah,
we must also consider that the Teranga Lions, are very solid in defense. Yes, they have not been scoring in the group stages, but they have not conceded. I think this is the first time they're going to concede. So they have a very, very solid defense. And, for a team that wants to win a tournament, if you are not scoring, you must not also concede. But against Equatorial Guinea, Equatorial Guinea came to the game, with a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
Yes, they are the underdogs, but they were not afraid to play. Even when the Senegalese went in 1-0 up, they equalized. But, at this stage, Cecilia and Tayo, the quality will always show. The abundance of talents, the abundance of quality, the depth of the Senegalese team
will come to the fore.
Indeed. And Equatorial Guinea really should not go home disappointed. No, they did their best.
They've done well.
But there's really nothing you can do. You are playing against a team that has the best
Sadio
defender on the continent.
Yeah.
They have Sadio Mane. They have the best goalkeeper in the world at this moment. So, I mean, they should be proud that they played against.
And they had somebody coming from the reserve, from the dead, Ismaila Star.
And he came on and he scored.
And the interesting thing about this Senegalese team is that they have young players who are doing so well for their clubs.
All right.
Okay, guys, we need to go on a break. We need to go on a break right about now.
But we'll be back shortly after this. All right, let's take a look at the Final Four fixture, the semi-final pairings, where we'll be having, it's going to be a tough one. Egypt, of course, taking on host nation Cameroon. And then you have Senegal and Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso have gone this far. Will they progress? Senegal hasn't won it. Burkina Faso hasn't won the Nations Cup. Egypt, how many times? 7 times. For Cameroon, 5 times. So are we going to see a new champion in this year's tournament? 14 different countries have won the Africa Cup of Nations, 33rd edition. Are we going to see a new one? Austin, you said it's football. You can't predict. But this time around, are we going to see a new champion? Of course, Senegal were pre-tournament favorites. And then they got to the tournament. Cameroon and Nigeria became, and of course, Cote d'Ivoire became tournament favorite. But right now, those teams are out. So you see how Senegal and, of course, Egypt still in the business.
Yeah, as I said, Cecilia, when you get to this stage, it's very difficult, but I'm sure you and Tayo, you guys know I love obviously. So if Burkina Faso can go all the way and even win it, it will give us a better story. But look, from the day I got into Yaoundé, you need to see the energy, the show of optimism from these Cameroonians that they will win this Cup of Nations. So the thing is their chance, their time to win it. So they are doing everything to make sure that they get to the final. First, they must beat Egypt. And listen to the Egyptian journalists. Egypt getting better. See the way they played the Moroccans. They were so tactical. They knew what they were doing. They were soaking in the pressure. And some moment of brilliance from Salah, and they are on to the semi-final. So Cameroon must find a way to get past Egypt if they want to get to the finals and maybe win this one. But Burkina Faso, Senegal, that's a very, very difficult match to call. So it's the semi-final. The best 4 teams are still standing. The best team should win it.
Best team should win it.
We'll see. Austin staying on the fence.
Yeah, that's what he has just done. Austin, thank you so much for joining us. And, of course, thank you for making it to Cameroon.
Thank you so much. Today, always a delight. Thank you.
So see you again on Wednesday, right? When the business starts. All right. Okay, that's it for the Africa Cup of Nations segment.
Let's we're going to put on you on the sports as well. Come on.
Okay, all right.
We're going to be the 2 finalists.
Okay, 2 finalists.
We're not going to let you off the hook. Not so fast.
I'm not doing this to you, style.
I know. That's what it does. Yeah, but you see, I think it's a difficult question because apart from the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the other team I support in Africa is the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. And the reasons, are so clear. They don't have pity on their opponents. When they are in the mood to play, they simply crush their opponents. They use, I think their motto is everything is fair in a battle. So for the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, I will fancy them against Egypt. Because between Vincent Abubakar and Ekambi, they have scored more than 11 goals. Vincent has 6 goals. Ekambi has 5. So they have 2 players who are high on confidence. So I want to see how the defensive strategy of Carlos Queiroz will work against this Cameroonian team that is, scoring very freely. So I want to tip Cameroon for the game against Egypt. Then Burkina Faso, Senegal. Burkina Faso, I think their highest achievement so far was in 2013 when they lost to Nigeria in the final. Then they also got to, they were fourth when they hosted in 1998. So against Senegal, this Senegalese team, you cannot, they have so much depth. I think they will
So
be,
much quality.
yeah, they will be the enemy of themselves. If they play up to their potentials, what they have, they should beat Burkina Faso.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Before we leave the AFCON segment, let's tell you that Tunisia have fired their coach, Munda Kabir, on Sunday. That's after the team's elimination in the round of 16. Oh yeah, surprised by this?
Yeah.
This guy had COVID, couldn't even do the last 16 clash against Nigeria.
Coaches are always endangered species, but the North Africans are not patient people. Carlos Queiroz, when they lost to Nigeria, a fan challenged Carlos Queiroz in Cameroon at the venue where we played. And they had an altercation with the fans. So they are really not patient. They love football, but sometimes you got to be patient with this team. This is a strange tournament, COVID-19. Sometimes we are decimated. And they should look at how the fate of the Tunisian. One of their group matches, the match was ended unceremoniously. Exactly. We learned that the referee was later rushed to the hospital because he had his stroke. You look at the contest. But what do we know from here? Are the owners of the federation have sacked the man. So that's the way it is.
And Jalil Kadri is going to be the man taking charge of Tunisia as they prepare for their World Cup playoffs. That's going to be against Mali at the end of March. All right, so that's it for the AFCON segment. When we come back, it's going to be all about the Nigeria Professional Football League. Highlights coming from the NPFL matchup between Shooting Stars and MFM. Shooting Stars coming right here to Lagos to win by a lone goal. Damilare Olatunji scoring the goal very early on in the game, on 5 minutes, as a matter of fact. And that's how the Shooting Stars have been able to take back 3 points back to Ibadan. All right, so before we focus on that game, let's take a look at the other results coming from across the various centers in the Nigerian Professional Football League, starting with Enyimba with a 2-1 victory over Katsina United. Sunshine Stars went goal crazy. They defeated Lobby Stars by 3-0. It ended goalless between Rangers and Dakota FC, while Kwara United turned back Gombe United with a 2-0 scoreline. The top of the table clash between Remo Stars and Rivers ended 1 apiece. Niger Tornadoes lost at home to the defending champions Aqua United by a lone goal, while it was Wiki Tories defending their territory with a 2-0 win over Nasarawa United. Shooting Stars 1-0 over MFM Ryan Lagos. Plateau United 1-0 over Abia Warriors. And Heartland, surprise, surprise, they lost at home again against Kano Pillars. Of course, the issues are well documented. We'll come back to that later on. Let's get on with it now.
Okay, let's talk about Plateau United first. And Plateau United and Abia Warriors. Plateau United winning at home. Yes, we know they're the team that love to score goals at home, but this time around, just one goal, Electrical Boys.
Yeah, the 3 points is very crucial. Just get your victory at home, and that's what Coach Electrical has done against another very good side handled by a very good coach. But I think, unfortunately, they've not been doing well this season. Maybe they will have to look at some fundamental issues and try to motivate the players and see if their season could be turned around. But Plateau United, I think Ilechukwu is proving that he did the right thing by dumping his former club, Heartland, moving to Jos.
Just imagine not being paid.
From everything we're seeing right now, right? It looks like he's made a very fantastic decision. Albert Hillary has scored that goal, as you've just seen right there. Ended up being the match winner for Plateau United against Abia Warriors. Let's get post-game thoughts now coming from the coaches. First off is Fidelis Elechukwu. Then we get to listen to Ernest Ezinwo as well.
Before the game, we knew it's going to be a tough game because considering the kind of the coach they have, my boss, who I always call master, I know the kind of quality he possesses as a coach, and also they draw at home last match. I know they will put everything here to make sure they get points, but at the end of the day, we give all our best to get these 3 points. Looking at this team, it's a new team. Always also want the fans to have patience with the team because it's a new team. We must understand when you have a new team, have new strikers in the team, the understanding will not be like before. In as much that Plateau United is a big team, so I know we must get away point, and I know where the team belong. Also, that's why we're making everything possible to make sure that we keep the team where they belong.
In a team that lost almost 6, 7, 8 players after a season to 10 players. We lost about 10 players at the beginning of this season. Going to different clubs, changing by pick 5, different clubs, pick this and that. So we are still trying to get cohesion in the team, which I believe by this week 10, week 11, cohesion will be in the team.
All right, guys, that's assistant coach of Abia Warriors. They're still stuck on 9 points from 9 games. That's not a good run of form at all.
Maybe that's why Mama is not talking to the press. Because that's his assistant coach, right?
Yeah, but he should be talking to the press.
Yeah, he should be. We want to hear from him. I mean, he needs to tell us.
I mean, he should set the right examples. He has been in the national team. That's the pinnacle of every coach's career. So he should be talking to the press.
Unless he's out of commission.
No, sometimes you should realize that you either win, you lose, or you draw. It's the way it is. He should be talking to the press. We want to hear from him. He's the coach. He's the man in charge.
And because he's having a very terrible season. 9
Guys,
points.
Abia Warriors are in trouble. But guess what? MFM are even bigger trouble. Did you catch that game over the weekend?
Shooting Stars coming down here to Lagos and just 1-0. That was enough.
They're not great travelers.
This is the second. Yeah, this is the second
last
loss.
time they won an away game.
Yes, but not in the Southwest. You know, every season when they're in the Premier League or in the NNL, they usually fancy their chances against teams in the Southwest because they have supporters. Most of them. If you check that stadium yesterday, the Tesla Balogun Stadium, there will be more of Shooting Star supporters than MFM. You know, but let's go to the MFM issue. I mean, Tayo and Cecilia is so poor. 6 points in 9 games.
Wow.
And they have lost 3 matches at home. They lost to Remo Stars, lost to Rivers United. And this is the 3rd defeat of the season. And it's not looking good. The signs are not there that the team will pick up. Sometimes I look at the fixtures. I wonder where
they will pick the points
MFM
from.
will pick the away points from. Because as it is now, they need to win away matches, you know, to avoid relegation. If you have lost 3 matches, that's 9 points at home. Where are they going to get the points from away? That's the big question that the technical crew of MFM should answer.
All right,
That's a
big question.
massive
But let's see if the coach has got answers for us, right?
Not so sure.
Let's get reaction from the coaches.
With the performance the boys played, I was satisfied with the performance. But despite we didn't convert our chances, we dominate the game after the goal scored from Shooting Stars. You can see the boys come out to play, but there's a lot of lapses that we need to work on, which I believe going to Gombe, I think we are going to play as if there's no other match that we're going to play, because we have to bring a point from Gombe. So I'm not too worried, but I believe the team will bounce back. There's nothing we can do because the crop of players we have at hand, I don't think we have much players at the bench that can fortify the game. We know our caliber, then we know there's nothing we can do. We just need to use what we have now till mid-season. So maybe by mid-season, before mid-season, I think there will be a little bit shape. The team will come from the top, from the bottom. So I think by the middle, I believe I'm still going to work with the team more and more on this way we play, and let's see more performance from the boys. I think everybody's worried fine, but we are still going to do something. Something's going to happen with the game. I'm not comfortable. I'm so bitter with the way we are MFL for the first time, finding ourselves at the bottom of the table, which is very bad. It's very bad for the team, and for the Lagos fans are not too happy. So we just need to do something to push back to the Lagos fans and the management.
MFM is not an easy team to play against. They have their strength. If you are able to neutralize that, then you have a chance against them. And that is exactly what we did today. Despite the fact that we missed some goal-scoring opportunities, but at the end of the day, we were able to win by a goal, and we are very happy for the 3 points. I don't consider the 3 matches ultimatum, believe me. I take a game one after the other. The most important game for us now is the game against Ireland, having completed this game. So far as I'm concerned, the 3 matches ultimatum, I didn't think anything about it. We make sure that we concentrate, we make sure that we focus, we take the game one after the other. And we are very happy that gradually we are getting it right. The boys are working very hard. But due to the fact that we didn't get the result, a lot of things were said about them. But we are very happy that now gradually they are proving what they are worth. And we hope that the result continues to drop in, then definitely performance as well will improve.
Obviously, performance will improve. That's according to the coach of Shooting Stars. And for MFM, we're finding answers. He said, okay, from the match against Gombe United, they will try as much as possible as if it's the last game they will have to play and get all 3 points from there. It's an away match. We'll see if they can do that. So leave NPFL now and quickly. Yes, we're still on NPFL, but this time around off what's happening on the field of we'll going to leave the field now and go to the administrative aspect of which is the LMC giving Heartland. Is it 10 days?
The question is why are they getting an extension?
Why are they getting an extension? Really?
You see, Taiwan Cecilia,
it's
difficult in this climb. There are a lot of things happen.
Okay.
Most of these clubs are owned by government, and you know how it is. Yeah. So the LMC is just being careful. They will sometimes to implement the rules. Yeah. We can sit down here and say, but they get a lot of phone calls. They get a lot of people influence call to do this and that. So I really don't want to.
Is football now politics?
Cecilia, you see,
it is what it is.
It's what it is. You've been in this country for some time, so you know how these things are constructed. But the issue of Heartland, Taiwan Cecilia, didn't start today.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've been looking at it right from the time of Governor Richard Okorocha. The defect in the structure of the management, has caused all this problem. Governor Richard Okorocha appointed a chairman then when he was governor, and all of a sudden, he brought in a supervisor, the deputy Speaker of the House. So there was a problem. The same thing, the same template, the dangerous template adopted by his successor, that was Governor Meke Ihedwa. And the same thing is happening now. You have a GM who is supposed to run the club, but the deputy Speaker of the House and the sports commissioner are in charge.
Okay.
So
is that why they're being held salaries? Like, what was the correlation?
That is the reason. If you look at it, the past 8 years, when money is released, you know how it is. Money is released before it gets to these players. it will get stuck somewhere. You know how these things are constructed. We don't need
I
to.
don't know.
You know, Tyler. You know, somehow before it gets, when the money is moving in government house, in our system, along the line,
it gets stuck somewhere.
Yeah, along the line there is traffic.
Okay.
That is what we call go slow. Something, they've been being done.
But
before it gets to the players, it's already depleted.
For the sake of the players who are the main actors in this thing, in this beautiful game called football, let's hope that 10 days doesn't extend to...
It's not about giving 10 days extension.
Yeah, what is it?
If at the expiration, I can bet you,
10?
if the government does not do the right thing by, giving the management the mandate to run the club, it will not, this problem will persist.
Okay, can LMC just, Heartland, if you can run the club, then relegate them and focus on 19 teams. I think that's what they need to do. They should stop playing football, disband the team, go into administration, we don't have
this is not England.
Cecilia, your suggestion right now, your suggestion...
that's what the Senate climb would do.
Yeah, it's very dependent on having the political will to get these things done, which is seriously lacking at this moment. Let's move on, guys.
Okay.
Let's go down under.
Yeah, Australia, yes.
Wow.
Someone is in 21st heaven. You know what, Tayo? This package, right? Let's just enjoy this first. See how Nadal was able to beat Daniil Medvedev. We'll be back. All right, Rafael Nadal has won 21 Grand Slam. No man has won that. All right, let's take a look at this report.
You hear?
The men's singles final at this year's Australian Open lived up to its billing between number 2 seed Daniil Medvedev and number 5 seed Rafael Nadal. The Spanish great looked dead and buried as the Russian world number 2 carved out a 2-set lead. But Nadal surged home for one of his mightiest comeback wins, 2-6, 6-7, 6-4, 6-4, 7-5 in 5 hours, 24 minutes. It was one of the 35-year-old Spanish warrior's greatest title victories in his 29th Grand Slam final as he won his second Australian Open for a record 21st Grand Slam titles.
Tough to talk after 5 hours 30 and losing, but I want to congratulate Rafa because what he did today, I was amazed. Especially, during the match, I tried just to play tennis, but after the match, I just asked him, are you tired?
For me, it's just amazing. No, being honest, 1 month and a half ago, I didn't know if I will be able to be back on the tour playing tennis again, and today I am here in front of all of you having this trophy with me, and you really don't know how much I fight to be here. I can't thank enough all the support that I received since I arrived here. You are just amazing.
It crowned an extraordinary effort from Nadal at the year's opening major, having to modify his game to compensate for a degenerative bone disease in his left foot that ended his 2021 season last August.
'21st heaven indeed for Rafael Nadal. Now, we mentioned earlier that the only time he won the Australian Open was 13 years ago, and that was against Roger Federer, and it took him 5 hours to do that. And then again, against Daniil Medvedev, 5 hours, 24 minutes, but finally he got what he wanted. It wasn't at Wimbledon, it wasn't at US Open, it wasn't at the Olympics, but Rafael Nadal is back in 2022.
And that's why he's called it one of the greatest comeback of his career. Right now, Rafael Nadal stands alone at the top of the all-time leaderboard when it comes to majors for men. He's on 21 now, followed, of course, by his eternal rivals, Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer, who are all on 20 apiece. Cecilia, this race is going to go down to the wire. If anyone knows me, I've been saying Nadal is going to end up as being the GOAT when it comes to tennis for a long time now. Fingers crossed, we'll see how this pans out. Oh, yeah, let's come to you quickly on this game.
Yeah.
2 sets down. Nadal looked down and out. I was having a chat with Cecilia during the game. He looked really shaky. Medvedev was breezing through his service games. Nadal was struggling. It was a drawn-out process for Nadal.
Yeah.
And something happened in the 3rd round. Literally, Nadal caught a second wind, and there was no stopping him afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, Rafael Nadal has gradually become the expert of comebacks. You know, his life is literally about staging comebacks.
Yeah.
And the final of this Australian Open has showed that. Cecilia and Tayo, I think you have said it all. Last year, it was even suggested that his tennis career would end after that terrible foot injury. Then in December, he caught COVID, and everybody was saying, will he be in the right shape mentally and physically? Then all of a sudden, Djokovic was deported. You know, his chances were very clear.
Indeed.
Then Roger Federer also got injured, and he was the only highly rated player in this Australian Open. I think I listened to his interview after this the final, and he said he was, you know, physically devastated. He was destroyed physically, and who wouldn't be? The game was in the history of the Grand Slam finals, I think the longest, the second longest finals in the history. 5 hours, 24 seconds. I think the other time it was 5 hours and 30 minutes. And, you know, this guy has shown that with the will, with determination, if you continue working and, you know, doing your best, you always carve out something for yourself.
The heart of a champion, indeed. Rafael Nadal has been showing off his second Australian Open title in Melbourne. We'll see pictures that are coming from that as well, too. So see, like, you just see that joy. And look at the smile. Cannot keep smiling. Holding the trophy like a baby, like, nah, what is going on?
This is the most precious he has ever won. Yes, he has won 20 Grand Slams. But this, I mean,
feels extra special.
Really extra. It's everything for him. For
I was also reading Roger Federer's
his message
to Nadal. You know, he also joked that last year both of them were in crutches, and it's so remarkable.
It's a testament to their comeback again.
It's so remarkable that months after he has won his 21st Grand Slam title.
Indeed.
So it's an inspiration to everyone. A great champion, amazing achievements.
Absolutely.
All right, let's listen to him, what this means to him, really.
Well, honestly, not much. No, I was trying to sleep a little bit, but it was super difficult tonight. But yeah, the satisfaction is just impossible to describe. No, for me, it's just amazing to have this trophy with me. I tried very hard during all my career here in Australia, and finally was probably the most unexpected year for me, to achieve one more time this beautiful trophy. So super happy, and my schedule, I don't know. I have my schedule planned, but I just now enjoying the moment. I need to be back. I need to see how my body recovers from an amazing month, and then I'm going to make my decision.
You hear?
All right.
Rest up, Rafael Nadal will go again for the French Open. I said we, like, what is that?
Yeah, we know how big of a fan you are of Rafael Nadal, so it's not
all right,
just expose yourself.
It's a secret.
That was a slip. Shout out to Ashley Barty as well, too, the first Australian champions in how many years now?
44 years. Yeah, great one for her, also showcasing her trophy. I mean, it's so big.
Yeah. Congratulations to Rafael Nadal and Ashley Barty, the king and queen of Melbourne.
History.
Before we look at the papers, both making history. Yeah. Some sort of history. Definitely. Let's look at the NBA before we look at the papers quickly. 8 games went down over the night early this morning. The Lakers lost again. The 3rd straight loss now. They've suffered all without LeBron James. There were also victories for their neighbors, the LA Clippers. The Bulls were also victorious. So were the Detroit Pistons and the Orlando Magic, as well as the Denver Nuggets.
Destroyed.
The Minnesota Timberwolves. They absolutely annihilated the defending champions right there. The Suns, the best team in the NBA, 40 wins, 10 straight, 40 wins. Just the 9 losses. They're looking good to seal the first spot in the Western Conference. The Lakers, like we said, they've lost 3 in a row now.
Yeah.
And Coach Frank Vogel has been reacting to that loss against the Atlanta Hawks. All right.
Okay, there you have
I was going to talk about Frank Vogel. Obviously disappointed with that loss. Let's take a look at the top performers from the NBA. Karl Anthony Towns, 31, 11, and 10, triple-double for the Timberwolves in the victory over the Utah Jazz. Next up is Luka Doncic, another triple-double, 34, 12, and 11, but it wasn't enough for the Mavs. They lost against the Orlando Magic by 2 points.
Painful.
Malik Monk stepped up in the absence of LeBron, 33, 10, and 5, but the Lakers lost for the 3rd straight time. And last but not the least, Trae Young was responsible largely for that loss for the Lakers, 36, 5, and 12.
All right, time to take a look at the papers quickly. I'll start off with Complete Sports. And Complete Sport right here, you have exclusive NFF to draft Amunike Okpala or Imama into Super Eagles ahead of World Cup playoffs against Ghana. This one.
Yeah, the story about Amunike, I think specifically for the playoff against the Black Stars, according to the story, he's not going to be on the bench, but he's going to act as a technical assistant to Gosine Guavoin, reading matches and communicating, these things.
What about the other assistants from the last expansion?
The expansion we had before. What happened to them?
The plethora of coaches were there when we lost to the Carthage.
So they need another extra.
They need another extra two more, right? That's what is looking at Amunike Okpala.
No, but Imama and Okpala, I understand Imama because he's currently engaged. He has been in national. Okpala has not coached for some time, so I really don't understand the choice of Okpala.
All right, there's one story here. Sports editors to NFF, be ready to resign if we fail to qualify for 2022 World Cup. Okay.
All right, let's go to Sporting Life. That's a paper right there. So, a lot of stories concerning the AFCON, of course, but there's this one concerning Victor Osimhen. Napoli reject Newcastle's €150 million bid for Osimhen and Ruiz.
Give us details of that.
Yes, the Napoli president said he's not going to sell because Insigne, their captain, just signed a pre-contract with an MLS side. So, I mean, it will be counterproductive for them to sell off their 2 players. He's insisting that he's not going to do business with Newcastle with all their money.
All right. There's other stories concerning Everton appointing Frank Lampard. So Lampard is back in the dugout this time around on Merseyside. Congratulations to Super Frank. Manchester United suspend Greenwood. Very horrible story, allegation against the Manchester United striker right there. Teranga Lions set up semi-final clash with Burkina Faso. There's also stories concerning Odoye Gallo and Moses Simon.
All right. Okay. Will I take just this one tweet? Number flyer man. Okay, we need to go. We can't take anyone. Hey, thank you so much for coming to the program.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you all for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salan.
I'm Cecilia Amongwe. See you again tomorrow.